on.
It looks like I'm in the room with you too.
No, you're right there.
Okay, we are live on Facebook. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Taylor Hooten Foundation's live session. I'm Amy Wagner, Director of Development, and I could not be more excited than to introduce you to our two fabulous guests. We have Mandy Marquardt, who is an accomplished track cyclist and a member of the USA Cycling National Team and Team Novo Nordisk. Hi, Mandy.
Hello.
And then we also have Katie Eulander, who is a skeleton racer and four-time Olympian. Welcome, ladies.
Hi. I have no sponsors. I am available for sponsorship.
Would you like to introduce us to your companions?
So Rosie and Ruby became best friends. And so, well, Ruby's gone now. But
Yeah, she got excited.
Rosie.
Oh, Rosie's
Hi, Rosie.
So
So
Katie and
cute.
I started 2018 together, training and getting ready for nationals. So we spent the whole summer together, and they became best friends. Ruby, my dog over here, and
You can do the challenges.
Very cute.
Is that this thing on TikTok? Ready, Rosie? I'm a savage.
Ruby's not that cool. She's looking for the ball. She's more entertained with the ball.
Rosie wants to go stare at a window. I gotta go put it back.
So glad we got to meet Ruby and Rosie. So
Sort of
cute.
So we can't, the Facebook Live, because we're on Zoom, we can't see the questions coming in live. Who are we?
I can.
Oh, you can.
Yeah, I can see the questions, yes. So which Katie brings up a great point. If anyone would like to submit questions, please feel free to submit questions for Mandy or Katie. So both of these ladies serve as advisory board members for our All Me League, which means they both are committed to living and competing appearance and performance enhancing substance free. We thank you both so much for serving as such awesome role models for all of the young girls out there.
Thank you.
And thank you for being here with us on Facebook Live.
Yeah, it's good to see you guys.
So I understand this is a little bit of a reunion of sorts. So do you guys want to tell us a little bit about how the friendship started and how you all first met?
Yeah. I think you. Well, it kind of happened like because you had an injury, right, from skeleton.
Did I? I don't know. I think I had hip surgery and ankle surgery, and I was in Colorado Springs anyways, right? Yeah. I think that's it. Man, that's so long. Like it was back. That's behind me. Is the camp. 2015.
Yeah.
That's when we met.
Yeah.
Right. I ended up being her roommate at the cycling camp.
Yep. Yeah, and she tried track cycling for a bit. Definitely there's so much to learn because you're riding a bike without brakes on a velodrome. That's pretty steep. It's just different. It is its own kind of adrenaline competitive drive. But yeah, it was awesome that she got to try. I think it's cool when other people try different sports. And yeah, we became really good friends. And then she wanted to kind of focus on Pyeongchang and that focus. And then said, afterwards, I'm going to commit and we're going to do this together and see how far we can get together. And it was really fun just training together on a borrowed bike that you lived with us for the whole summer in 2018. So yeah, it's been a really cool journey together. I know your view on track cycling is funny.
Yeah, I mean, it's a challenging sport. They say life is easy, it's like riding a bike, but I don't think people realize how hard riding a bike actually is. So I figured I love it. It's a lot of fun. The best thing for me to do though was to just have no strategy and just use my power. So the easiest thing was to be a starter for the team sprint because there is no strategy. You just go balls.
It was just a really cool experience to do that together. And that was a really team cool friendship experience. And out of that, it's really shown me that, sprinting is not just an individual sport, it's a team sport, but, competing at this level too. And skeleton one sport I don't know if I would try. It's terrifying, but yeah, it's just been cool to see her journey too and her sport and learn and cross kind of and do these sports.
For me, like to be able to train with you and have positive experience with a teammate, like be able to work together, talk through things, push each other. It really helped me heal, especially like after finishing the 2018 games, having lost the same Olympic medal twice to a doping scandal. And my best friend, that was one thing that I don't even know how to put into words, and I'm probably not doing it well in this moment, but Mandy was that person to help me get through like the post-Olympic blues and all the trauma that I had gone through going into 2018. So it was just a really positive experience. And I think it's an example of why sport is a great way to help you learn more about yourself and grow and focus on the positive things. I mean, you can also use it to focus on the negative, but this is an example of how you use it in a positive way. I don't know if you feel the same, but yeah, you definitely.
Yeah. I do. It was a hard summer too, because I was racing as well with the individual events, and also just learning how to teach someone something so new was awesome and a cool experience too. I mean, yeah, I coached for the university and that's different in its way, but here it's like we're doing this together. And whether we won the national championship at nationals or not, like it was more just for us and like because we had fun, and that was a really cool experience. And
yeah, but we won.
We won, and that was cool. Like, we were anticipating to win, but it was just like there was more kind of like,
who was like, I have never lost a team sprint national championship. No pressure. I was like, oh, you've never lost.
It was a joke. It was a joke. Truth, a joke. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot behind it because it's an individual sport, but yet sprinting specifically. But it was a cool experience to be able to share that together. And
man, I didn't want it to end. If now that the Olympics are delayed, should we try again?
It's like I don't even know what's happening. Like we've had our 2-year qualification and selections still have to be made, and I totally respect that the fastest person and will go, and obviously everybody's results count toward that. But yeah, it's tough. There's a lot of uncertainties right now. I mean, I'm in this room here. You can't really see right now, but yeah, I've been training. So just kind of staying in that positive mindset. So how's everything been at the Olympic Training Center? Because you're up in New York.
It's different for me because I'm jealous. I haven't seen a weight room since like the beginning of it. Okay. It's weird because for my sport, we're in the off season right now. Like we would just begin training now. Or a lot of people would be. I've been training. I like to stay in shape. I don't believe in doing nothing for extended periods of time because I found the return to sport is brutal. And the older you get, the more brutal it is. So if you like, oh yeah, I deserve to sit on the couch and eat cookies for 2 months, go ahead. But just remember that like it will hurt 10 times worse once you come back. I also realized that in a sport that requires more effort than just 5 seconds, like mine, it's worse. Like I got on a bike and I was like doing a 5-second sprint, and then I realized I had about 4 times the distance to go in the team sprint, and I was like, this hurts. It felt like my lungs were bleeding. So I've been sprinting. Yeah, I feel like I've been sprinting, and then I got some like dumbbells from the weight room. And I've just been trying to stay in shape, but there are a lot of questions like, when can I train again for real? Will we even have a season? Like, I don't see us going to China in a safe way in the next year. So like, are we going to have to move the Olympics for the winter? There are a lot of things up in the air. So I'm trying to just take it a day at a time, kind of like we did. You did a great job of reminding me that, because being brand new on a bike and trying to win a national championship was intimidating. So it's just stay in shape, and I've been trying to focus on self-care, like just doing what I can to make sure I stay healthy and take care of myself, and taking each day as it comes.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit about your quarantining outside of training. Just what are y'all doing? Have you found any new shows to binge, movies, books? How are y'all spending your time outside of training?
Well, just kind of catching up on just being home, because I've been traveling so much that it's just so nice to be home with my fiance and my pets. It's just awesome. Like, I love seeing them. Thankfully, he's able to work right now. His job is a little bit different, so it's essential work, so critical work, and yeah, so it's just nice to be home with them too, and just ride my bike and train and get some good base training in and strength back, and cook, try new recipes. Yeah, and watch The Bachelor. That's my guilty pleasure.
Be watching Survivor.
Yeah. You were working there.
Yeah, that's right. It was supposed to be until the pandemic hit.
That's so cool. What a cool experience. But yeah, I guess I have to put Survivor on my list of things to watch. How about you?
The season's amazing. It's the winners. So you have like all the past winners competing for $2 million.
Man,
why don't we just
sign up?
I know, that's what I'm saying. Maybe we should do Amazing Race together or something.
That'd be cool. James and I were watching that before, and I'm like, we should do it. How do you sign up for something like that? That'd be awesome.
Yeah, well, we should do an audition tape.
What have you been up to?
Well, for me, it's a little different because I don't have any funding from the United States Olympic Committee or Federation. But I am at the Olympic Training Center, so that's been a blessing. I applied for housing. I'm waiting to find out if I get it, but that's been saving me some money. I didn't want to go home after when nationals were canceled, because we had just traveled from Korea all over the place, and I have family members that would be considered high risk for corona. So I just decided to stay where I am. And then I've done like 40 applications a week trying to find a remote work. And then I finally got Instacart. So I'm renting a vehicle from the local garage so I can go deliver groceries and just get any kind of income. It's been tough. Like, there's a lot up in the air, and I don't have parents to rely on for, backup. So, because my father passed away in 2009, and there's nowhere really for me to go to be like, hey, like, it's just me and Rosie. So my spare time is mostly working on trying to supplement, like figure out how to get a job. I read, and then, I've been watching some stuff, but most of it, to be honest, has been like true crime, like forensic files and like serial killer stuff. And now I've convinced myself that I want to be a forensic profiler. So I started researching, like, what classes do you have to take? So I have to finish my undergrad.
You want to go to law school too.
So obviously I'm leaning towards something that has to do with criminal activity or law. Yeah. But I think I have something to contribute. I think I basically lost my sanity the last quad from all the trauma of like the doping scandal, losing Holcomb, and everything. So I think I could give some really great insight to people that are not quite sane. And I think there are that's a whole nother topic. It is mental health month though, just to like.
I've grown a lot in this experience, and also being type 1 and having the friendships that I've made. So that's valuable to me, and the impact that we're making as a team. But of course, like my ultimate dream, but yeah, there's a lot that warmly I take from this, that, me, like being part of the Taylor Hooten Foundation and being an ambassador, like, it's just like, everything is kind of just connected in a way that, brings a lot of light into this and brings people together. And, in this time too, it's important to reflect and to have somebody to talk to. Like, I talk to my sports psychologist, and to just have people that you can rely on.
Yes, absolutely. And speaking of you all being part of the Taylor Hooten Foundation Almy Advisory Board, we actually received a question from Jen, And her question is, at what point in your athletic career did you learn about the use of PEDs, and how do you ensure your supplements are PED free?
I can kind of keep this concise because I mean, you can talk about this for hours, but first question, right, with it being relevant, of course, in sport, and track cycling, okay, doesn't have the great, or cycling in general doesn't have the greatest history, you know, with doping, but it doesn't mean that the sport is filled with people that dope, but it's just to be aware, and I think authentic in who you are, and as an athlete, like I know all the hard work that I put in this entire process. I know that I did that wholeheartedly clean, and that I'm taking supplements, yes, that are NS certified for sport. Also, I go with like a food first approach. So nutrition is a big part of that. But yes, like with traveling, I need additional recovery, like proteins. And so, I mean, it's a pretty broad question and, you know, kind of simplified into one, but it's really just staying true to who you are and not kind of follow and be a sheep, to kind of be your own person and push yourself and see how far you can get. Without, you know, PEDs and trying to do that. I mean, you're harming your body, you know, like reproductive organs, like everything. I mean, there's so many risks involved in that. And it's just like, it's not fulfilling. So I know Katie has a, you know, even deeper experience with it, with losing a medal and everything. And that hurts.
Yeah. So yeah, that's actually, I've never been around or introduced to them. It's still kind of a mystery to me. I started Googling a little bit because I don't really know how to cheat. Like, I wouldn't even know where to start. So, but the biggest concern for me was making sure that I always passed my drug tests and that I was always feeling safe, because there's nothing more scary. Like, even though I know I'm clean, every time I don't know if you have this, every time I open one of those USADA tests, I'm like, until I see negative, like I passed. It's like, I don't know why, it's just nerve wracking.
You just have to be careful too, anywhere you travel and compete, like to protect your water bottles and protect your supplements too, because you just never know what people's intentions are. Yeah, I mean, too, so.
Yeah, I mean, so I basically, like, off season, I'm less careful, just because there are less things that you can test positive for out of competition. Basically, as long as you're not doing steroids or blood doping or anything crazy, like, you're gonna be full of apps. I'm getting really annoyed. Like, I need more storage or an upgrade or something, because it's like I can't do anything with my phone. It's like, you're too full, all of apps, but all of them seem necessary. So someone come up with a solution, because if you keep making apps that I need and I can't fit them on my phone, I don't know what to do. So annoyed. That's my current state with my phone. But
yeah, I know that was the one question. I know there's probably more questions. I don't know how much time we have, but yeah, and definitely.
Well, I would love for you all, if you wouldn't mind, just to kind of talk a little bit about your journey in sport and tell us a little bit about your sport. Katie, love to hear a little bit about skeleton and just your journey.
Well, skeleton is head first on ice. You go 80 miles an hour on an icy tube. Let me see if I can get another background for you guys. So that's how we push the sled. And then we run and jump on head first and roll down on our tummies down the bobsled track, which if you've seen Cool Runnings, yeah, it's it's that same track, except we're cooler than them.
Love that movie.
Yeah. So the only thing true in that movie, to be clear, is that there was a Jamaican bobsled team and they crashed. That's it. You cannot carry a sled that weighs a ton on your shoulders across the finish line, one. And two, the thing that really hurts my feelings is that they accuse a United States athlete of cheating and losing a medal. That didn't happen, guys. Like, that you don't understand how serious that is. John Candy, I appreciate you, but you don't fit in a sled. Like, there's no way. Okay, enough on Cool Runnings, but definitely great movie. Disney did it, right?
Yeah, I think so. It was Jamie's favorite movie.
What?
But
Wait, you've never seen any movies that are younger? Like, okay, Mandy won't watch
not
any
to tell
movies.
people that I've watched Cool Runnings.
But she won't watch any movies that were made before 2015, right?
No, I just like newer movies. I don't know. But my favorite movie, I will talk about later because I know
Okay.
yeah,
Yes.
I'll let you guys know later. But my
Okay, so
track cycling. And it's
yeah.
super fun because we ride a bike without brakes. We go up to reach speeds up to about 70 to 80K an hour, not miles an hour like you, Katie. But yeah, it's really fun. I train behind a motorcycle too. My coach brings me up to speed. I kind of come off the banking and he kind of comes out of the way and then I pull through. And yeah, it's just a big adrenaline rush. There's tactics involved in sprinting too, different from endurance. The endurance is, they ride a lot of laps. Sprinter, it's fewer laps, but everything's more explosive. So Katie and I are kind of similar in that way that we have that explosive power and strength. And I spend a lot of time here in the gym and just building that foundation for my sport. It's kind of like we're weightlifters on bikes, kind of as a joke, just because we spend like, but not really, because I don't do like Olympic lifts like you, Katie. But it's like we're like bigger people. Like I've gotten people ask me like, really, you ride a bike? Like, like, I'm like, what? What does that even mean? But yeah, it's just, yeah, we have more muscle than the average endurance rider or sprinters. And yeah, we're all quick and explosive and it's an adrenaline rush.
I really liked it. I think that my body really enjoyed the lack of impact. Like, so when I went back to the skeleton season after we trained for the summer, I was actually really fast. The only issue I had was that your sport is all concentric. Like there is no eccentric load. So the first time I went to go sprint, I felt like this is basically what it looked like when I was running. Every time I hit the ground, it's like I couldn't rebound. So I had to then incorporate some eccentric training into what we did on the bike. And then it actually helped me. I got a lot faster. So the two sports do translate well. The difference is the energy systems, despite them being classified as sprinting, there is a huge difference between a 5-second sprint and a 20-second sprint. You're not quite into lactate at a 20-second sprint, but
I used to run back in the day and do triathlons, but yeah, if I ran now, like I'm using different muscle groups, I may get shin splints, happened before. So just stay away from that for now. Do more of like mobility and focus what's gonna, make the gains on the bike. And, also a lot of core and Pilates. I think, that's helped me in my back and just also I'm not getting any younger. So it's good to add some like dynamic.
You're no right to say that to me. That's so rude.
Come on.
Not even 30.
Yeah, you're like 30. I know how old you are. You look great.
So we actually got another question in, is if you guys could give some tips on what you're doing from a nutrition perspective during this quarantine and modified training time for people who are home that maybe don't have the normal access to their training and nutrition. Just kind of what things are you doing that might be helpful, or tips you could give everybody?
Yeah, sure. I can start. We can kind of trade it off and make it a conversation. But most importantly, is just like I'm getting, my exercise in, I'm getting my training in, just to kind of get outside too. And it's nice if you're able to get outside too. But also with managing my diabetes, that's been really important for me to have a routine still. And with nutrition, and being home and not traveling, like I'm cooking more. Really love grilling. So, I make a lot of smoothies as well. I use Clean Athlete, their vanilla whey protein. So, I've gotten really creative too. I mean, I've made cookies and added that in there. So it's just like, this is a good time to get creative and just like, with managing my diabetes, I'm fine tuning a lot more also. And, trying to stay, not in race shape, but in shape for when I'm like, I need to go race again and I'm out there, on the track again. It's, our sport too is power to weight ratio. So it's, it's important what we carry on the bike, but just for everybody, just to keep, perspective, and everything's in moderation, really. And You know, sometimes I don't have it. Not everybody does, but it's important to keep that in mind too. I mean, I have to look at my blood sugars and everything else, but also like if you just eat well, you just feel better.
Yeah, for me, this is my advice. She knows my nutrition is like a huge struggle. I think because I relied on it as a bit of like a soothing or comforting thing. Like food was never like food. It was like made me happy, still makes me happy. Like, you want to change my mood, like give me a snack. So it's a little bit harder for me, especially now that I am turning 36 in July. And when I was 20 something, I literally could eat whatever I wanted, do whatever I wanted, and I still had a six pack. I would basically just like quad flex on people, no problem. And and now it's like, seriously, my body's changing and it's hard to describe. Everyone talks about it, but I was less concerned with how I looked most of the time and more about performance. But and once I started to eat clean, I noticed how much of a difference it made on my performance. I started working with RP strength, which is Renaissance periodization, this last year a bit, and they've been fantastic. The biggest thing that I would advise on, and Mandy helped me with this too when I was living with her, carbohydrates are not the enemy. They are important for training and living and your brain. It's more about having a balanced approach. And there are a bunch of fads out there like intermittent fasting.
Keto, like I don't follow any of that either.
Yeah, I mean, it's honestly, guys, it's very simple. It's calories in versus calories out, and it's a relationship with food. Easier said than done, because I don't think that I've handled my quarantine very well with my nutrition, partially because I can't cook. I don't have control over what food I have access to, being at the Olympic Training Center. But I've definitely put more effort in asking for fresh vegetables, cleaner foods. So not all carbohydrates are equal, you know. So if you eat ice cream versus having a sweet potato, but as I get older, it really does affect my performance more immediately. So you just can't bounce back as easily.
Fiber. You can add more fiber into your diet too, because that takes longer to digest, which is then your body, you know, burning the calories too, because it's taking longer to digest. Coach Andrew Harris was like, add more fiber in your diet. So, you know, vegetables have fiber, and so, yeah, just, you can have healthy food that tastes good. Like, yeah, it can be possible. And if you get ice cream, get a kid size. It's still just as good. That's what I do. If I go to Rita's, I get a kid size. It's our ice cream place here. So.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I remember that place.
It's open. The lines are long. It's like 6 feet. It's like, oh, I just want my ice cream.
And I find the other thing, especially right now that I'm delivering groceries when I can, like there's no schedule. It's just when the orders come up, I go. And I haven't, the couple days I didn't really bring food or bring snacks. And I went from like 8 a.m. to like 3 p.m. And by the time I got to eat at 3, yeah, I just was like, give me all the food, which then is like, that your body, it just doesn't work. Like, not for me anyway. I think I'm a little bit more sensitive, so it made me want to keep eating, and I never really felt satisfied. So for me, it's really important to keep healthy snacks around and just like eat. Yeah. So that I never crash. And then especially when you're training, it's the same thing. You want to have carbs and protein. I find I don't need a lot of fat in my diet because I don't do endurance.
These are my favorite. I have her here just in case, like, you know, my blood sugar drops or something right now, or just if I'm hungry, I'll have a little snack. But yeah, I always have food with me. Like, you always see me carrying my lunchbox.
That could have been the other reason we got along so well.
We love to eat. And it's cool. We got creative with some of her meals too here and there, and she taught me some things, and, you know, we learned a lot from each other. So it's a really cool experience. I'm glad that we met, you know, through sport and this entire experience. And I hope we can see each other again soon.
I know. I want to bring Rosie to visit Ruby.
She's right here. Ruby's right here. And she's like, pay attention to me. Go throw the ball.
I love y'all's friendship and just how you can do this together, and especially love that you both are All Me League representatives for Taylor Hooten Foundation. you know, one of the things that is always sad to learn is that young girls are the fastest growing user groups of anabolic steroids, and just having great role models like both of you that show you were able to accomplish tremendous things, all me, appearance and performance enhancing substance free. What advice would you give to young aspiring athletes? Just advice on, you know, being all me and what that means and why that's so important. Would love to have you guys share some of that knowledge.
I'll go quick. I'll try to be quick. So what my advice would be that whatever you do, you're going to earn it 100% yourself. And you can't pay attention to those that may have earned something at a different way. And it doesn't matter what their journey is. You can't judge them. Like the Russian athletes in 2014 that were a part of the doping scandal where the government provided the performance enhancing drugs, and RUSADA, the Russian anti-doping system, actually tested them to facilitate them passing drug tests while they were cheating. It's not their fault. They were told to do it. They were under certain circumstances that we could not understand. So that's irrelevant. That's the way I decided to look at it. But I know that every time I step to the line and I compete, it's with everything I had to give. And I earned all of that myself, and the people that supported me. But there's something to understanding that Olympic competition is not about the glory. It's not about winning. It's about the journey. Like what Mandy and I experienced together, that's what the Olympic spirit's about. That's what Olympic competition is about. That's what sport is about.
It's true.
Yeah. So my advice is don't compare yourself to anyone else. Don't look at anyone else's journey, and you'll be able to compete at that same level. Performance enhancing drugs do nothing more than help you recover better. It's an easy way out.
Yeah, so well said. I mean, you know, Katie's definitely had more in-depth journey with, you know, the Olympics and, you know, losing a medal. And so it's, yeah, I mean, just looking at really anybody young, you know, you're a role model. I mean, having a platform to be able to talk about it is really important, just to be able to have people to talk to you about and not feel that pressure from anybody else. You know, it's really staying true to yourself, really, and knowing that all the hard work that you've put in, you've earned that. And that's kind of where I'm at with that. I mean, yes, like I do feel like we are role models, but so are younger girls to other girls and vice versa. I mean, I look up to even younger girls that are doing well in their sport, and I'm like, that's motivation to me, because it's like I was that young before too. And you know, and there's a lot more education now available, and it's important to have those conversations. And that's where I feel we can add a lot of value, and that we brought a lot of value with the Taylor Hooten Foundation, and just seeing everything that you guys are doing. You know, it's yes, being role models, not to be like, oh yeah, I'm a role model, but it's actually to make an impact and to kind of, you know, help younger girls see that there is bigger and better things other than sport, but like the journey and achieving something that you knew you could do 100%, you know, out of everything that you've put into it.
Yes, well, we could not be more honored or proud to have you both partnering alongside of us and coming along with a journey of spreading, you know, the positive awareness about all me, appearance and performance enhancing substance free. So thank you again. And I'd love to kind of end our time with a fun question, if you guys are up for that, a little curveball question we like to ask. And that is, if there was a movie about your life, what actress would you want to portray you?
Oh gosh, I'm so horrible at acting. Like, I don't know people.
I am too. Before the call, before we went live, we had a little.
Oh wait, I know yours.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
I don't think you do. What is it?
I think it's the girl from Hunger Games.
Oh, I didn't even say. I wasn't even thinking of that.
I don't remember her name, but I think that would be perfect.
Maybe.
Be a good choice, yeah.
I mean, you too.
No way. I'm too thick and like tiny. Like you're tall and lean.
Well, it doesn't mean like physical. It means like just, I think, okay, so I was going to say Bridesmaids. The main character, Catherine Wig, you know, on the plane, she has the glasses. And then I like I was talking about the scene where she like drives by to get the cops' attention. I don't know, just all their mannerisms are just funny. And that's, I feel like, yeah, that's me most of the time.
I think why we got along, because we're both really goofy. And your fiance is like, we're not mirror images, but we're very similar.
Yeah, he's hilarious. He like hates social media, which I'm like, it makes me sad, but you know, it's like, that's a part of my life that like, I respect that, and I respect him in that way. But yeah, we have a lot of fun together, and yeah, you guys are very similar. That's why we all like got along so well.
I wonder, okay, who would play me?
There's so many movies. I'm trying to think. Like,
I know a character, like, but the actress is too young.
But which movie?
Is it Kick-Ass? The little ninja girl. That she's like kind of a meanie butt, but she's a superhero at the same time.
Oh, I like that. I have to check that movie out. Was it made before or after?
It's probably too old for you.
Just checking.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's new enough. I feel like it's new enough.
Well, you guys are both superheroes in our minds, for sure. Definite superheroes, fantastic role models, wonderful.
Be passionate with whatever, you know, whatever you're passionate about and what you're doing. And it's on my left, and I'm always turning left. So there's a lot of symbolism behind it. But yeah, it was a neat tattoo, and she's from New Zealand. So yeah, that was kind of a fun one. We did it after racing, after a month here last summer.
We'll love that. And thank you both for being the ultimate examples of girl power. And thank you everyone for tuning in to this Facebook Live with us.
Thank you.
Bye.